On Christmas, my son kicked me out of the house. With nowhere to go, I took a job at a billionaire's mansion, taking care of her garden. Her deaf son spent most of his time there. No one ever talked to him until she saw me signing with him and said 5 words that froze me. My name is Malcolm Rhodes. I am 46 years old, African American, born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, and for most of my life I worked as a construction supervisor, a man whose hands were rough from labor but whose heart always tried to give more than it received. I believed in family, loyalty, and sacrifice. I believed that raising my son right would ensure love, respect, and gratitude in return. But that Christmas, all my beliefs were shattered. My son, Jordan, was 23. Smart, handsome, confident, and easily swayed by the wrong people. Kayla, his girlfriend, was clever, manipulative, the kind of woman who could twist a man's mind with a few words. For months, she whispered lies into Jordan's ear, telling him I was controlling, that I wanted to stop him from growing, that the house I had built for him, the life I had sacrificed for, was now mine to hold him back. On Christmas morning, the smell of pancakes, turkey sausage, and brewed coffee filled the house. I tried to keep the mood light. I handed Jordan his plate. I smiled, but he didn't even look at me. Kayla leaned over, whispering in his ear, and the next moment, he stood up, pointed at the door, and said, "Dad, leave. You're ruining today. Just go." Her arms were crossed, her lips pressed into a smirk, satisfied with the pain she caused. I didn't argue. I didn't yell. I didn't even pack most of my things. I left with a single bag, the snow hitting my face as I stepped outside. The streets were quiet, the world felt frozen, and I felt hollow. That night, I slept in my car, staring at the lights of my own home, hoping, praying, for some sign of regret from him. But none came. The next morning, a knock on my window startled me. It was my father, Calvin Rhodes, 74 years old, African American, sharp eyes, a quiet strength that demanded respect. He said, "Son, if your boy threw you out on Christmas, then you come home with me." No questions. He took me to his small apartment, gave me hot tea, and simply said, "We rebuild." That is what Rhodes men do. A few days later, I needed work. My savings were nearly gone because of helping Jordan with bills and his mortgage. My father showed me a job listing. Dr. Vanessa King, African American billionaire, tech mogul, philanthropist, was looking for a gardener at her Bloomfield Hills mansion. I didn't want charity. I wanted work. I applied. She looked me over and said, "You look like a man who has worked through storms." She hired me immediately. Her son, Elijah King, 16, deaf since birth, spent most of his days in the garden drawing, signing, and laughing alone. The staff ignored him, not out of cruelty but because they didn't know how to communicate. I did. When Jordan was young, doctors feared he might lose his hearing. I learned sign language, desperate to ensure he would never feel alone. Jordan recovered, but the skill stayed with me. The first day I signed to Elijah, telling him his drawings were beautiful, he froze, then smiled, a genuine smile that lit up his face and warmed the cold winter garden. From that moment, he followed me everywhere, showing me sketches, signing stories about school, bullies, and loneliness. I became his refuge, his safe place. One afternoon, while trimming roses near the Fountain Drive, King watched us. Elijah laughed, signed quickly, and her eyes softened. She approached me and said 5 words that froze me. "You changed my son's world." She explained that Elijah had barely interacted with anyone for months, that he had shut himself off after being bullied, that he looked alive again because of me. Then the twist. One evening, as I locked the shed, I saw something through the mansion window. Jordan and Kayla, inside, whispering, plotting. My heart froze. They were working together to gain influence in the house, to get close to Vanessa, to manipulate Elijah, to access wealth. They believed I would never find out. The next day, Kayla came close and whispered, "Look at how life works. Your son listens to me now. And if I want to take this job from you, I will. I stayed calm, but inside, my chest burned. My son had chosen betrayal over family. I told my father everything. He listened quietly, then said, "Protect the boy who needs you, not the boy who threw you away." It was a painful truth I had to accept. A week later, Vanessa discovered emails between Jordan and Kayla. Their plan was to manipulate Elijah and use their closeness to gain access to the mansion and financial secrets. Vanessa confronted them. Jordan tried to blame me. He said I planted the emails, said I was jealous. But Elijah stepped forward, signing passionately, telling the truth. He said I was the only one who treated him like a human, the only one who protected him, the one who made him feel seen. Vanessa turned to Jordan and said, "You threw away a father that people pray to have." She fired both him and Kayla immediately. Jordan's eyes filled with tears. He whispered, "Dad, please, I'm sorry." I placed my hand on his shoulder. "I hope one day you grow into the man I tried to raise you to be." And I walked away. Life didn't break me. It rebuilt me. Vanessa offered me a full-time role as her gardener and Elijah's mentor. My father moved into a small cottage on the estate. Elijah became like a second son, someone who valued the love and attention I freely gave. Over time, Vanessa and I grew closer, slowly, naturally, respectfully. Two broken families healing each other. My revenge was not loud, not angry, but living a life in which I was finally appreciated. Becoming the man my son would someday regret losing. Building a peaceful home with people who chose me for who I am. Family is not blood. Family is those who refuse to throw you out on Christmas morning. And this time, I chose my family myself. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And tell me, what would you have done if you were in my place?